Welcome to the Appetite for Discussion show with your host, Brandon Crouch.
Hey, Kevin, welcome back.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Here with Cowboy Curtis. Is that what you called me?
Cowboy Curtis, yeah.
Cowboy Curtis. Does anybody remember Cowboy Curtis? Julius, do you remember Cowboy Curtis?
Certainly.
Courteous.
Certainly.
Cowboy Curtis.
You know, a lot of people don't remember that was Lawrence Fishburne who was on the Pee Wee Herman
show.
Yeah. So,
Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Playhouse,
Pee Wee's
yeah.
Playhouse,
Yeah.
that's right. You know, I still have a Pee Wee Herman little pull doll. I have it I still have it. It's in the box.
Really?
Yeah, I think
That's
it's
gotta be worth some
Collector's
money.
item. My little brother had one of those.
That's got to be worth money.
It's got to be worth money, right?
I would think. I don't know.
I would say.
Somebody
It was
would.
probably worth a lot of money, and then when he got busted being in the theater playing with little Pee Wee,
True.
But now he's kind of back.
Yeah.
So
Well, he was in the movie Blow. You remember that?
he did a good
I
job
haven't
in the
seen
movie.
him
Blow.
lately in the last couple of years.
No, I hadn't seen him lately. He did show
Aren't-
up also in, wasn't he in Sons of Anarchy or something? Or no, that was Marilyn Manson popped up.
Marilyn Manson did.
Yeah.
He definitely popped up.
Yeah.
For those of you who watched the
Pee-wee's
series.
Big Adventure is probably pretty close to the top 2 or 3 movies that I've seen the most of all time.
Oh, yeah.
I've probably
Me too.
seen that movie 100
But aren't
times
they
at
aren't
least.
they remaking that? I think with him.
No,
Why
I've
would they
heard-
why
I've
would
heard-
they
I've
remake
heard-
it?
no way.
I've heard they're
I
or
do
something.
love-
Like
I do love it.
70-year-old Pee-wee. I mean,
I mean, as long as he can fit in the
well,
outfit.
you know what's
I don't
funny
know.
though? That those suits that he wears,
Yeah.
they're like what the kids are wearing right now.
Really?
That is
Well,
true.
that
Yeah,
is
yeah,
skinny,
man. The
like
little
the skinny
suits
and all.
that are the 2 inches too short. I
That
see
is
these
true.
kids and I'm like, wow, they dress like Pee Wee Herman. My daughters are like, who?
Just say, "Come here, I'll show you." Break out the VHS.
You know, on Netflix, Pee Wee's Playhouse is on there.
It is
you can
on
watch
there.
it, yeah. Or it was as of a month ago, probably.
On
Really?
demand.
I'm going to be honest with you. That's probably going to be a dirty little secret that I binge
Yeah.
on Pee Wee's. I used to love Pee Wee's
I would
Playhouse.
encourage it. I loved it. I still love it.
That was past my day.
I bet you
Yeah.
though now, if we went back and watched it, we would
It's awful.
probably pick up on all these innuendos or.
Oh, yeah. So it was probably 2 months ago, actually. I put one on at home to show our 16-year-old daughter. And I was like, this is what I used to watch. And she was just like, why? Why would you watch this?
Yeah.
Well-
But she watches YouTube videos now of these like YouTubers, and
They're
the
doing the
same
same
thing.
shit,
It's
yeah.
kind
It's
of the
just
same
different.
thing.
We made maybe 10 minutes into Pee Wee's Big Adventure, and they were like, "This is stupid."
Well,
What is this
this is
crap?
what we had back then. You know, back
Right.
in the good old days, you had to shit in an outhouse.
too.
So I mean,
I
we
love how that movie starts though with the thing dropping the toast in. You know,
Oh,
he had all
yeah.
these
Oh, it was-
gadgets. in
but it
his
was so
house.
happy.
It was so cool too.
but it was a cool house. You're like, I want to do that when I get older.
yeah,
Tim Burton, man.
yeah,
Genius.
yeah. It was cool.
Genius.
What is it? He has a beautiful mind. He's
Yeah,
crazy.
I don't know, but he's got some kind of gift.
He does.
I like all his movies.
You
Me
like all
too.
of them?
I like most of
There's
them.
one or two maybe. That
Yeah,
were-
there was one. I can't remember the name of it. That was
Um,
odd.
Edward Scissorhands is my
Well,
favorite.
That's a great movie.
Beetlejuice, Edward Scissorhands.
Ooh, Beetlejuice is good, too.
There was another one
There's
where
new
it was,
Beetlejuice. Did you see the
I
trailer
did
for
see
it?
that was coming
Yeah.
back out.
It's got all the original cast.
Michael Keaton's going to be in it.
Yeah, Michael Keaton is Beetlejuice.
Well, I know, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was.
But it's got Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin. They're like they get it like a new younger couple, and they try to train them.
oh,
They
okay.
save
That's
them.
neat.
That's what the trailer.
That'll be
That's
great.
cool. Yeah, I hadn't seen the trailer.
Yeah,
I dressed
see the
up as
trailer for it.
Beetlejuice for one of our annual house Halloween parties 2 years ago. Speaking of Julius, you gonna be able to make it to the Halloween party?
Not sure. I have to check my calendar.
You got to check it, man. You're gonna
When is
miss
it?
it. It's the 26th.
Next Saturday.
Listen, I had to go
Is
buy.
that next Saturday?
It
Yes,
is next
I had to go buy
Saturday.
concrete. Listen,
Yeah. Brandon called me from, or I called him. He was at Lowe's.
Do you realize North Iredale class of something is having a reunion next? But I think I'll be out early. So
well, it's 7 to midnight.
Brandon called. I called him. He was at Lowe's, and I heard him ask somebody, "Excuse me, sir, where do you keep your quick read at?" And I was like, "Why are you buying concrete?" And he was like, "Oh, no, nothing. I can't tell you." And I was like, "I mean, do you need me to help you do something?" He's like, "It's for Halloween decorations." And I was like, "What?" Like y'all are starting to take things a little too far. I think.
Listen, for what I have in mind, calls for concrete. So we're just gonna go with it. Hopefully, it's gonna work.
I don't have a costume yet.
We have 2 new props that we
I thought you was gonna say we have backup costumes. Just come on over.
maybe we do have a Halloween box.
Ooh.
Actually, multiple
Actually,
boxes.
didn't Colt have to shop out of that last year?
No,
Or Matthew
because remember
or
he
someone?
came as the Scarecrow. Like he really put some effort in. Now 2 years ago he came as Bo Duke
Oh yeah.
from Dukes of Hazzards.
Yeah.
which is lame.
Nobody knew what he was.
I was like, hey, Colt's here. Because he's wearing all denim, which is normal. Just kidding. But no, it's going to be a good time. Hopefully you and Lisa can make it. I want to say congratulations, first of all, to Kevin for completing the 6-hour run at the Halloween Hobble.
Thank you. And congratulations to you.
Well, thank
Back
you.
to you.
But most importantly, we want to thank Drew Combs for putting on the event that is continuing to grow more and more every year. And as I was walking through this event, I met a lady who was from West Virginia who came down to participate. And a friend of hers, a guy, can't remember his name, but he was from Pennsylvania. He was the dude dressed up as like the German beer guy.
Carrying a big beer mug.
Yeah, and he had the whole, I don't know what they called it, but it was like
Lederhosen.
Were you with us?
Yeah, remember?
How did you know Lederhosen?
I pull out random words. I knew what decoupage was at one time for a family board game, and don't know where it came from.
I think you're kind of close, but I don't. Is that how it's pronounced? Later.
I think it's more pronounced like
Lederhosen,
no Lederhosen.
Yeah,
something like that.
maybe.
Yeah.
You're,
Not enough
you're
phlegm.
close, but I think it's just a little bit different.
But you know he's doing such a good job of this grassroots run that is growing more and more every year, and he's also raising money for a charity which the proceeds go to as well. And we're just happy to help. We're happy to participate in that. And I will tell you, we said this on the Facebook Live, but man, it's one of the hardest physical things that I've ever done. And it's not even, you think, all right, I'm going to go walk. Walk is not that big a deal. But you ever done something for 6 straight hours and nonstop? There's no stopping. The only time I stopped is because I had to go poop in the porta-john. And I'll tell you, you want to talk about some motivation while I was sitting there? I'm scrolling through Facebook like every person does on the pooper. And I see that the guy just broke the world record for whatever record for the marathon for sub 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here and I'm like, really? So if this guy can go do that, surely I can, well, when I get finished here, I can go out there and push further and do more than what I came here to do.
Well, and you went with a goal of 10 miles.
10 miles.
And you did 20.
I did 20.
So that was a big moment for you on the cracker, apparently.
Well,
I didn't know that that's what pushed you, but.
Well, there was a lot of things that pushed. You know what was crazy, though, about the whole thing? Well, there's a lot. But not only the physical aspect of it, like, because you're hurting, you're in so much pain, you just want to stop. My feet were killing me. But there was a part where there was like not a mental challenge, but there was almost like an emotional phase that I went through a portion of that 6 hours.
Yeah.
Where you're alone and you're thinking how blessed you are to be able to even be out there, to be in this discomfort.
Yeah.
And you're walking, and life could be so much worse. And we complain about the most ridiculous things. And then you think about some of the things you could have done better in life and some of the things that happened to you. And then it's just a wave of emotions.
And all this in just 6 hours.
Yeah, but I didn't expect that part.
Yeah, I didn't either. And I was sending my wife text, and like, I mean, some of them were like, I don't know why we're so stressed. We've got it. We're good. We're blessed. Like, sending all this stuff. And she had made a comment to somebody else and was like, Kevin's sending me all these sweet texts or something. And they're like, tell him to keep going. Stay out there. So, but yeah, I know what you're saying. It was, I went through a wave of emotions and in a short period of time, but it was a big part of my day. So I know exactly what you're saying. I went through that also. Mine
was shorter, which was because a good friend, Todd, came along and helped push me through the last 8 miles.
Right.
But if he wouldn't have showed up, number one, I would have never finished 20 miles. And number two, I would have probably been a blubbering, snotty mess. And they'd been like, so the dude walking is like crying.
Somebody go help this guy.
Somebody go help this guy. Like,
and that was crazy to me too. So I don't know how many people were out there at one time. I don't know. I have everything screenshot so we can talk about some people that did some crazy things out there.
So you have the results on that week?
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
So I don't know how many people were out there. But so when I started, I walked with you for a little while.
Yep.
And then I started running.
Then we did the math.
And then, so we started doing the math, and I was like, wait a minute, I can't walk with Brandon and finish this and how I want to finish it. So I started running. And by probably mile, I'd say 5 or 6, I was pretty much by myself the rest of the time. Like I had gotten, I guess, far enough ahead of some people and far enough behind some people that I was pretty much by myself, except for the 4 to 5 people that were running like there was nothing going on out there. Like it was just the easiest thing in the entire world.
Yes.
And there were people that in my 20 miles went past me 4 times.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
That's, God bless him. Wesley Lockman. That dude never had nothing but a smile on his face. His cheeks must be the most sore thing on his body after 104 miles, because that dude, it didn't matter if he was just smiling.
But, and that's what I was going to say. Like, for people that don't know how this works, and I don't either. I don't do ultra running. I don't do any of this stuff.
I don't run.
But to just like set the scene, when you get out there, there's tents, campers, like just supporters, people's families, friends. They have almost like their own aid station set up. And like when people come around, it's like, well, what do you need? And they got foam rollers on them. They're giving them chips and salt pills and different kinds of liquids. And it's just the craziest thing when you don't know what's going on, because I don't know what's going on.
Right.
I'm cramping. I don't know how to fix it. I ate a banana, which, I absolutely hate bananas. So when you first see this, so I saw it last year.
Right.
But this year, because we went and did the longer run, I got to see more of what happened.
It's really more of it's a community. It's camaraderie.
And that's what I was going to say. Like, it's worth it for people to go out there just to see the community part of it and how people are helping each other. And that's what made me think about this, was you talked about Wesley. There was a time I was probably mile, 18 or 19 or so. And by this time, my legs were cramping so bad. Like, I was having to stop and like hold up on trees and stretch my legs. And I didn't think I was going to make it. I went that far and still had over an hour to finish. And I didn't know if I was going to finish. Like, I was struggling. Wesley just is cruising right by me, and he stops. He's like, "You all right?" I'm like, "Man, I'm cramping so bad." And he's just like, "Well, what's your liquids like? Are you getting enough electrolytes?" Like, he just started like telling me things, and I basically looked at him and was like, "Dude, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
If I talk much more, my tongue's gonna cramp."
And he just like kind of smiled at me, and he was like, "Well, man, you're on the downside of it now. All you gotta do is finish." He was like, "I'll see you at the finish line," and he just kept on cruising. And it's just the most positive, like, just motivational people out there.
Yep.
And it's, for me, I probably won't miss one ever. I don't know if I'm going to run in them or any of that stuff. I'm not going to throw anything out there
tonight.
By
the way, I am not committing to anything.
But I will go volunteer regardless, just to be part of it, because it's just something. This year did something for me, just seeing everything and just the emotions that came with it. I don't know. It's a big thing for me.
You know what else I think is awesome, that the 2 years we've competed or participated in the last 3 years, they sing the national anthem.
They do.
Which is great.
Drew's wife sings the national anthem.
And I just want to yell, "Play ball!" at the end every time.
And they do a moment of silence and a prayer, and they sing the national anthem, and everybody stands around and does all of that, and then everybody starts patting each other, and I'll see you out on the course.
Yeah, see you in 24 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, it is, like I told you, I was in so much pain, and you and I were texting throughout the night. I have never hurt that bad from doing something where no one touched me.
Yeah. It's the most physical sport ever.
It is. It's the most
I'm throwing
physical,
it out there right now.
It is the most physical sport ever. My shoulders and my traps were so sore.
That's what I was going to say.
What's that? What is that stick they beat the samurais with in training? They don't do something right.
I want to call it like a kendo
stick. Maybe it is a kendo stick. That's pretty close.
Names out.
I looked at Chris and I was like, "Did you beat me with the samurai stick all night?" I was so sore.
And so when I went to bed Saturday night, my legs were cramping. They hurt. My ankle was humongous and blue and everything. But so I knew Sunday morning when I got up, I was like, "It's going to be bad. When my feet hit the floor, this is going to be bad." I didn't make it to the floor because when I went to get up, I pushed, and my shoulders were so sore. And I was like, "Why are my shoulders sore? I don't understand."
I didn't do shit to my shoulders. Why are you hurting?
It's just that
tension and I guess the popping up and down. and stuff like that. I don't know what that the shoulders. I did not I didn't expect that at all.
So I want to throw this out there now because this whole, the point of bringing this back up is just to kind of circle back around where we started last week. I really want to encourage people to reach out to Drew to follow the Halloween Hobble Facebook page.
Right.
So that you can get information about it, the next date, how to volunteer, what to do. I would love for next year to see some vendors out there, some music being played out there. Make it more of an event for people to come, not just for the supporters. There was probably, how many people do you think were out there?
Well, I think there was 80 participants in all, but when you include their family,
That's
I
what
would
I'm saying.
say there was at least 140 people
At least.
throughout the day.
And that's just people that are there just for the runners.
Yeah.
And nobody really out there to be a spectator. There were volunteers and stuff.
Sure.
But I would love to see like some vendors, some music, some entertainment. Bring your family out there and watch this. It is the craziest thing to see.
The other part is if you have kids, you're out at Allison's Woods right there. The main part is where the landing strip is.
Right.
So there is plenty of room for your kids just to go run in like an open field and have a great time.
And you can bring pop-up tents, blankets, your own food, do whatever you want to bring.
Dude, I bet you there is enough room on that far end where they could even hold like a flag football tournament or something crazy.
Yeah, they could. They actually could.
Yeah, they could. What I would like to do at some point is be there during the night run where there's... Now, you guys have to understand, this is out of Allison's Woods where it's a 4-mile trail, which is a 350 grade. Don't know what that is, but apparently it is not easy, and I can assure you that it's not.
Not easy.
And it's pitch black. So they have glow sticks hanging from the trees, is what I understand.
And they're wearing headlamps and whatever else they can
So
find.
can you imagine...
Because even during the day... it was when we were starting to get towards the end of our 6 hour.
Yeah.
It was hot. Sun was out. I'd say 80% of that trail though was shaded. So
every bit of it.
It's pitch black.
It is pitch black. They told me that it's really spooky. So apparently, God, we should have had somebody with running experience been on here. But if you true. Thank you. That if you're running in that 24 hours, you start to hallucinate at some point at night. And that it's really freaky when you're seeing the glow sticks, and you also see the glow of what's the dog, cat?
Oh, the kangaroo man?
Not kangaroo man, but coyotes.
Oh.
You see the eyes of coyotes in the woods.
Well, there's a kangaroo man out there.
Well, there is a kangaroo man, however.
And by the way...
But I'm more scared of the damn coyotes.
And I want to bring this up in all seriousness. Y'all see this bottle. I'm still chugging water. I'm still so dehydrated from Saturday. And it's Tuesday.
Well,
so we know that.
I have rehydrated myself with coffee.
I've been so thirsty for 3 days now.
You know what we should do, or they should start almost like its own like sub Facebook page of people posting like funny stuff, funny clips, or blisters on their feet, or you got your blue ankle,
or like you walking like you've ridden a horse for 3 days.
So I didn't realize that you guys could see that.
It's viral.
So my
it
wife,
went viral.
she put it on Instagram. Is that right?
It was Instagram or Facebook.
Is that how you saw it, Julius?
Yeah, it was on Instagram.
You went viral.
I don't know whose Instagram it was. I thought it was yours.
No, I can
think it
assure
was-
you
I
I
think
didn't
it was
post
Kristen.
it. Well, I will
yeah.
tell you, and actually this might be good too to post helpful tips for people like myself, novice, who are going from the couch to 20 miles. We joked about it on this show about using monkey butt or Gold Bond or some sort of, friction resistant substance in the undercarriage area. Well, let me tell you something. I did not do that. And gentlemen, I made a mistake. I will tell you, never again will I ever participate in an endurance anything where I am not smothered, covered, like, I'm going to be like Waffle House downstairs, because I will never go through that again. Not only did I break my feet, but I don't know. Downstairs.
How deep you gonna go?
Well, I lost the first 3 layers of taint meat, I can tell you that. So Never again. My wife told me when I was in the shower and the water hit me, she said, I've never heard a sound like that come out of you before.
So
Never.
It's funny as it is. It makes me think about the guy that was telling us the story about when he was preparing for his 100-mile runs.
Julius, you are not. Dude, I looked at you and I went, Kevin, come here.
And you made him start over, and as he was telling the story, I laughed, and he was like, no, I'm serious.
Yeah.
And so I stopped laughing, and I was like, he's serious.
Oh, he was for real serious. He told me to get, number one, he told me to get sandpaper and to go home and just start rubbing the inside of my thighs. He goes, now you're going to bleed, but it'll help roughen your skin up so you won't.
Prepared for your next
Yeah,
race.
so you won't get chafed or whatnot. And then, you know what this crazy? Just tell him.
That was it another 100-miler?
He was participating in 100 miles, and at mile 70.
At mile 70, he was getting so chafed in his crack area that he had blood running down his legs from his crack.
And he finished.
And finished the race. And the crazy part of it all was he was telling us, and like I said, I thought he was joking, but he was serious.
Oh, he was serious.
And both of us are looking at each other and looking at him like, I don't know if he's trying to talk us into running more or not, but this is not working.
This is not working. I looked at Chris and I said, if I ever am doing something where it makes my ass bleed and I still got 8 hours to go, slap me in the face. Because but I'm not there yet. Maybe I'll never get, I hope I never get there.
But
could you imagine your butt bleeding from friction? You got to keep going. What are you going to put on it? You can't put salve on that. It's going to send you to the moon. Don't put water on it.
But
whatever you do.
But the serious part of it always is like these people that do this are that serious, and it is such a mental thing. Don't get me wrong, it's physical.
Oh, it's physical.
But just in my 6 hour, which I didn't even run 6 hours, I did my 20 miles in a little over 5 hours, and I stopped because I couldn't do anymore. I knew I could not do another 4-mile loop.
It's a good thing you didn't, or you really would. I mean, that's what I'm saying. We should have something where people can see, like, your ankle.
Yeah.
Somebody can see where it looks like I rode a horse from here to China.
But just, so I was out there for a little over 5 hours, 20 miles. You did your 20 miles. And the stuff we went through mentally in just that amount of time.
Yep.
There's people that are out there for 24 or more hours.
That's right.
So I can't even imagine what it takes mentally to even attempt it. I'm nowhere near even being able to attempt 100 miles.
You should really, I'm going to send you a couple of, and his book is great too, but David Goggins, some of the podcasts he's been on, and he talks about scarring that part of your brain to where you don't even think, like, I can't do that anymore, or I can't do this. I mean, he is from another planet. Like, when you listen to this dude, I mean, he's a guy who broke, I think it's been broken since, but he did the most pull-ups. He did 4,030 pull-ups. I mean,
I think I did 6 one time. And I think I cheated, too.
That's right. But he does legit up and down. I mean, I won't go into his story because I could be here all night talking about that dude because there's not that many people like him on the planet.
Yeah.
But it's a different level of, they're superhuman.
They are.
They are.
They really are.
And Wesley Lockman, you're superhuman.
Yeah.
And so is Drew.
Yeah.
Y'all are superhuman. Not everyone can do this.
And what's cool, too, is like, we talked about Hannah Mitchell on last week's.
Yeah.
Gosh,
did we talk about her?
2 weeks in a row?
I know.
I don't know. I'm breaking records.
Could be 3.
She had talked to me beforehand about, when she was doing the 100-mile.
God.
Because, in my mind, the 20-mile for me was basically like their 100-mile.
Oh, 100%.
So she was telling me, like, things that she does. She writes down, like, people's names on her arm, and she'll go through and, like, for each one, she'll, pray for them, think good thoughts or whatever, but just different things to take up time.
Dude, if I looked at my arm, I'd run into a tree.
But the craziest thing for me was when I started out, I was listening. I'm always going to listen to music regardless, but I had made like little playlists to kind of know where I was time-wise.
Mm-hmm.
So that's I started focusing on the music. Oh, well, this song's on, so I know I've been going for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Or, however it was. Well, then it got to the point where it was like I didn't even want to hear music anymore because it was like I've got to do something different. Like I have to
Right.
break up the monotony of this. So then I started thinking about what she had said, and I started thinking about my wife and kids and family, and just and all that different stuff. And I kind of went through that, and then it was like, well, what do I do next?
Yeah.
And I was only out there for a little over 5 hours.
Yep.
So I don't know how they do it.
The last 4 miles, I was going to go with no music and take that opportunity, as weird as it sounds,
To reflect.
not reflect, but just be present
Yeah,
in
the moment.
that hour and however long it was going to take me to feel all that pain, all that emotion, whatever was going to come. But luckily, Todd was there and he pushed me through. Otherwise, I'd have never made it. But I will give a big shout out to Bo Alexander and Tool because I listened to Fear Inoculum. I couldn't tell you how many times in that damn near 6 hours. And if you got 6 hours, it might take you that long to listen to the album.
I was going to say it. The album about
man,
6 hours long.
Yeah, but you can appreciate it. That is for sure. And by the way, if anybody hasn't listened to that album, my favorite's Numa. You're gonna love it. I don't care what anybody says. But no, I understand exactly what you're saying, and it's good to challenge yourself. Like I have never ran longer than 4 miles at a time, and that was last year at this event.
Right.
So I went from the couch to 20 miles.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying I'm going to. I'm saying I'd like to. It's a possibility. I'm not committing to anything into the universe. But
Are we recording this?
Yeah. But dude, I think that I would like to complete a marathon at some point. But I'd like to find a marathon that maybe doesn't have a 6-hour time limit.
Time limit,
Yeah.
So I started watching Iron Cowboy last night.
Yeah,
On
and?
Netflix. And this is a guy that's going to do 50 Ironmans in 50 days in 50 states. And I've
Did you see Julius's face?
And so I've watched, I mean, I probably only watched the first 20, 25 minutes, but like, I was just thinking, I don't think I would ever be able to do one triathlon.
Yeah, we'll do it together. No, I'm not throwing it out there. I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking.
I don't know that I could. The swimming
part
would
I
be
can't do.
Awful.
I
Gosh,
can't
it'd be
swim.
awful.
Did you swim?
I mean, well, can you switch it up? Like, can you float on your back and just do this for a
I
little
don't think
bit,
they
or
care.
just
Because
as long as you do it?
there's a guy that I used to work with who competed in Ironman, and there's a doc I work with who does Ironman. He's in the Clydesdale division. He's actually going to come on the show. He's a trip. But
I don't know,
I could do
man.
the running.
I could.
Well, I could do the biking. But I can't swim. I doggy paddle.
Right.
So I don't think I can doggy paddle for 2 miles.
Swimming's tough.
However,
Anyway.
you can do those mini triathlons where you
Yeah.
only have to swim like 200 yards. You run like a 10K, and then you bike 20 miles or something like that. So it's like a mini tri. We could do that. It's the swimming, dude.
Maybe our thing's gonna be once a year we enter into something that we know is gonna be awful.
I'm fine with
but we
it.
just like we
Do
make
it.
make people come out and support and do some sort of fundraiser. Maybe that's gonna be our thing.
Maybe I can do it. We're not committing to that
Not
though.
committing anything.
We're just spitting
Send your
ideas.
ideas. You can send your ideas, and we'll go through them.
People are gonna send some crazy stuff, man.
But so we both went to raise money.
Uh-huh.
I have not heard the total for the Iredell County Partnership for Young Children, which was the nonprofit that I was doing a fundraiser for. But just in glancing at the different, I didn't realize on Facebook when you set up a donate button, when for each post it starts it over. So I've got like 5 different charity things out there. So once they all come in, they'll be added. But I think I'm somewhere between $400 and $500.
That's great.
Which was
Congratulations.
way more than I expected. So I appreciate everybody that donated to that and helped spread the word and all of that too.
I can only track what I raise through where I work.
Yeah.
Because I raised $1 a mile or $2 per mile. So from my work, I raised $405. The $5 is a random because Neil, he wouldn't pay. He's like, I'm giving a flat rate. I don't like adjustable rates. He's a finance guy. I mean, he's like, you can never underestimate the will of a human.
Well, and I told you on Facebook, I commented that I would do 20. So you're actually at 425.
Right. And I'm going to give 20 miles. Yeah, I'll give 20 to you too. So you're getting closer to 500.
Yeah.
But I did have people reach out to me on text and Facebook Messenger asking what did they need to do to donate.
Yeah.
And I saw people out Saturday night when I got off my horse. I saw them.
When you parked it on the Old Town Road.
That's right. Oh my God. Never. Number one. As a matter of fact, every time we start talking about running, I just go right to the goal line. But they were saying like, "Oh, I'm going to donate tomorrow." You know, do I just click the
Right.
link? And the link that I put up is not near as sophisticated as yours because you know I'm not that suave. But you just click it. It goes right to the donate page and you donate and goes through PayPal and you get your receipt then. So I'm hoping that maybe somewhere I will get close to $500 for
Cool.
oligo cure as
So,
well.
so it was worth it for.
It was absolutely
everybody,
worth it.
yeah.
Yeah, you know, you got to learn. You know, we're getting comfortable with the uncomfortable.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's kind of like a slogan.
It kind of is, right? I've heard that somewhere.
But I will say, it was just kind of a personal goal for me. I mean, yeah, it was
Yeah.
a fundraiser, yeah, but I had set out to do 20 miles, and in my mind, I knew I could do it in less than 6 hours.
Good for you.
So I kind of wanted to do it in the 5 hour range. So just making that goal, you know, regardless of everything else, there's just something to be said about setting a goal for yourself that seems unattainable,
100%.
but then making it. And that's a feeling that, you know, you don't get with just anything. You know what I mean?
And think about, you know, what we did. And then there's people who competed 24 straight hours. Some of them achieved 100 miles.
Yeah.
Some of them didn't.
Right.
But even if you didn't, you were moving
Mobile.
for 24 hours.
Yeah.
That is just congratulations to, you know, if you haven't said congratulations, you did a good job to yourself, Kevin and I are going to say it for you.
Yeah. Congratulations.
And y'all did a
for being out
fantastic
there.
job. And there was a lady out
Yeah.
there. You got her name?
Yeah, I do.
What was it she has done?
Okay. Yeah. So let me actually go to the post so I can tell you what she has done.
So when you think, well, I've really done something today, wait till this 60-year-old lady,
60 years young.
that's true, 60 years young, you hear what
Okay.
she's done.
So her name is Liz Bauer, Bauer. So I hope I didn't just completely ruin that. But Liz Bauer, I believe is how you say it. So she completed her 100 miles in 27 hours, 18 minutes, and 5 seconds. So she did that at this Allison's Woods Halloween Hobble. She has ran 157 ultra marathons in the past 20 years. She has the record for the most 100 milers in a calendar year, 32. So in 1 year, she ran 3,200 miles.
Minimum.
Minimum. And
That is from here
and
to
she is
California.
60 years old. And the funniest thing about this post, first off, congratulations to her. I mean,
Hats
super
off to
woman.
you.
The funny thing about this is when Drew posted this on the Allison's Woods Halloween Hobble page, as soon as I saw the picture, I was like, oh, that's why she was smiling at me every time I passed her, because I saw her that first hill. That's, what did you name it?
The Soul
The
Crusher?
Soul Crusher.
Oh.
Every time I got to that hill, I guess it's just the way that she and I were pacing. She was coming down as I was going up, and I saw her every single time, and she just looked like there was nothing to it. So as soon as I saw that picture, I was like, oh, so that's why because she does it. Because she does it.
Drew is working with her to see if she can be a guest. She lives in South Carolina.
Awesome.
To come on here because, you know, I need to talk to
Love
somebody.
to hear that story.
Yeah, because you know there's a good story in there that she has to tell.
Yeah.
And by golly, I want to hear it.
Yeah. So just kind of while I have some of this stuff up, so you and I did the 6 hour run.
Yep.
We did 20 miles.
Yep.
As I said, I don't think I could have done 4 more.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think I could have.
Well, you could have, but you just wouldn't have made it in 6 hours.
Right, because I don't think I could have made it back there. I just
Yeah.
could. I would have had to walk it, and I was walking slow by that point. So Mark Kaufman, in that 6 hours, ran 36 miles. 36 36 miles.
That just don't even seem right.
And Marina Nielsen, she did 28 miles. There was another Nicole LaPaglia did 28 miles. There was a guy, Ryan Liska, 32 miles. I mean, when you go down the 6-hour list, you have a 36 miles, 32 miles, 28, 28, 24, 24, and then me, you, and another guy did 20 miles. So there were several, two 24 miles, but 36, Mark Kaufman, 36 miles. That's 6 hours.
That's moving.
No wonder he passed me so many times.
Exactly. And Justin Bobbitt, he did what, 60-some miles? Congratulations to Justin.
Did 66 miles. I think it's what it said.
Also, congratulations to Todd Fowler.
Yeah.
Todd completed 24 hours.
He did 24 hours.
And his race wife. I don't remember her name, though.
Me neither. So, Todd did 44 miles.
But even 44, some people are like, well, that's not...
Dude, that's 24, it's
24
miles
hours.
of moving.
And he got 44 miles.
Yeah, that's a lot of miles.
Dude, I mean, that's like leaving your house around going, I'm going to walk to the airport. Charlotte, Douglas.
And so, Wesley Lockman did 104 miles in under 24 hours.
Under 24 hours.
The 24-hour, the females, the Michelle Ginsburg, she did 64 miles. So yeah, man, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on out there. Wesley Lockman's daughter Ella, she did the 4-mile race and ran it in 44 minutes.
So she would have beat you last year.
Yeah.
Yes, she would have.
And
nope, I ran it in 41. You ran it in 45.
Oh yeah, so she would have beat me. So she's following in her dad's.
No kidding. Well, in April's a runner too.
Yeah. Yeah, she ran it last year, the 12-hour, I think, or 6.
I don't know. She ran longer than we did.
So yeah, I was just wanting to just recognize a couple people,
and they deserve to be recognized. And congratulations to all of you.
So, real quick though, so all the people that signed up for the 100-mile, I don't know how many there were total, but there were 7 people that finished 100 miles. That signed up for the 100 miles. So that Liz Bauer, Megan Curley, and Stephanie White all did their 100 miles, all within, they're like 27 hours, 28 hours, 28 hours. So they're all just right there together. For the guys, Bill Duig, David Sigmund, Mike Scara, Andrew Sinarski, they all did their 100 miles. All same kind of 27, 28 hours. So, I mean, that's 7 people that were out there for 100 miles.
There was a dude from Washington, D.C. when I first got there, and I put my bag down and snapped on my fanny pack. And he was like, have you ran this before? And I was like, yeah, I did the 4-mile last year. And he was like, is it tough? I was like, yeah, are you from around here? He's like, no, I'm from Washington, D.C. He said, what's the trail like? Like, he was talking to me like I knew.
Right.
And I was like, it's hard. There's like gravel and roots. It's a lot of uphill. You're going to hate yourself. And he was like, I think I can do it. And he signed up for the 100 miles. And I found his name. But, you know, for someone who, and he says he competes in those, to let you know how difficult this is, I think he only got, I don't think he did more than 70 miles.
Right.
And this is a guy who
does it.
Who does these.
They're in the 12-hour, a girl did 24 miles. And there's a 48. There's a bunch of 48 miles in that 12-hour. So there were 10 people that did the 12-hour run.
I'm not committing to that.
So there was a guy that I was walking with on the Soul Crusher. Because, you know, my first 12 miles,
Yep.
I basically ran all the flats and downhills, and I walked a pretty hard walk up.
Which is a good
up the
strategy, I
hill.
understand.
And that's kind of what other people had told me. Like, as long as you do that, be no issue. So I was walking with this guy. I think it was probably my 3rd lap or so. And he was from Granite Falls. And he had never been to Allison's Woods. But he had competed in some of these type races. And he was doing the 12-hour.
Yeah.
So he would have been on his 3rd lap probably by this time. And he was already telling me he didn't think he was going to do the 12 hours. He was like, gosh, he's like, it's beautiful out here. But gosh, this rugged terrain is what he said.
This is rugged terrain.
But, you know, so I had that strategy going, and I made one fatal mistake. about mile 13ish, 14ish, probably, I thought to myself, "Gosh, I thought it'd be harder than this." Like I really did.
Kiss of death.
It was because I was trying to remember how many times have I passed the finish line because I hadn't been out here that long. I was like, so maybe I think I'm further than I am or I'm not. And I couldn't put it all together because I was so far ahead of where I thought I would be.
Right.
And as soon as I started thinking that, within another 500 yards, I was like, don't you do it, left leg. I feel you. I feel you coming up. And it started twinging a little bit. And then from then on, it was left leg, right leg, left leg, right leg. And I could not put more than 20 jogging steps together and I'd start cramping.
I thought the last 2 miles that I had broken my feet.
Yeah, that's what you said.
I think I have broke my feet.
You texted me and said, I think I have hairline fractures.
I have stress fractures in my feet. My back is okay, but my feet, they are busted.
My last 5 miles were awful.
So what would you say is your biggest takeaway from the race, from the run? I keep saying race.
How incredible people are, I think. I mean, just in every form and fashion. So being able to set these goals that people like me would look at you and be like, you're nuts. Like, why would you do 100 miles?
Right. Like
And-
Matt Wall looked at me and he's like, man, y'all crazy.
Yeah.
Got there 20 miles.
So the fact that people can go out and meet these goals they set that are just crazy, ridiculous goals and push their bodies and minds to such a just crazy place. Then the part that everybody out there is helping each other.
Yeah.
So it's not about, I'm going to meet my goal and I'm going to beat you. It's like, hey, let's make this goal together. And people coming together and doing that. And then their supporters helping other racers. Like, you know, we don't know anything, or I don't know anything about salt pills,
Yeah.
foam rollers.
Who is the lady? She rolled me.
Yeah,
Some
she
random
she
lady.
became my friend today on Facebook. I'll find her.
That's another thing. That's why this page should be, so we could upload the video of this random lady rolling my legs while I'm leaned over your truck.
I will definitely, I'll definitely post that on there.
By the way, that hurt so bad. I've never been rolled, and let me tell you, I didn't know what to expect. But it hurt, but then some parts of it tickled, and some parts of it felt really good.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it was a new sensation of pain.
So my cousin Christy gave me her roller that evening, and Maria, my wife, used it on me that night. And yeah,
Was this before or after you laid naked on the floor and she had to put your underwear on you?
You're not supposed to tell that. This would have been after that.
So
Yeah.
think about this. You hurt so bad you had to lay naked in your floor and you couldn't even put your underwear on.
I laid there for a solid 45 minutes probably because there was no one to help. Jennifer Smith was the lady that came over and helped you with the roller. She's also who gave Maria the
Salt tablets?
The salt tablets.
Well,
Because
thank you.
Maria was talking to my mom because Maria had gotten there and I was somewhere out on the course, and she texted me and was like, how's it going? And I was like, I'm cramping so bad. I was like, I've eaten a banana. And she was like, what?
What?
Yeah. I was like, I've eaten a banana. I'm squirting this hammer gel down my... I don't even know what hammer gel is, but thank you, hammer gel. I don't know how many packets I had,
Yep.
but it was a lot. At one point, I had 4 in my hand. And, I mean, I was just tearing them off and just shoving them down. And it was like the thickest, syrupy stuff. I don't know what it is.
And when you put that in your mouth, what does it make you want to do?
Go to the Porta-John. Seriously. It just straight. I don't know what the deal is with that.
Do you think Shiki has something to do with that?
Do you think it was Shiki sauce in the hammer
I'm
gel?
pretty sure it was Shiki sauce in the hammer
I hadn't
gel.
thought about that. But Maria had told my mom, she was like, I just heard back from Kevin, he's cramping really bad. Well, that person just happened to hear that and was like, hey, we have salt tablets. Give him these. And everybody's just helping each other. So my takeaway is, there's still, this is going to sound cheesy, but I'm still kind of in this runner's high mode, I think. I don't know. There's still a lot of good people in the world.
There are.
Things like this seem to bring them out and together. So, you know, you can be somewhere, anywhere during the day, a restaurant, work, wherever you are. And most people are good, but there's bad people. Out here, it just seems like it's just one place where it's just like it's full of good people. So it just kind of gives
Sure.
hope. Like, if people come together and do this, like, what would we accomplish if we could take this and move it into the work field, to
Sure.
government, to every daily life?
Wouldn't that be the answer?
It's crazy. There's just a lot of good still in the world.
There is.
Just got to run to find it, I guess.
You got to run to find it. Thoughts while running. Well, we're going to make this a short one. We just wanted to say thank you and give you guys a post follow up. Kevin, you should definitely post some of your follow up pictures from the hobble, and because we were both hobbling, and
Definitely the right name for that.
and let folks see. And thank you guys again to donating to both charities. And thank you to Drew Combs and all the volunteers that were out there. Thank you to all the runners. And thanks to everybody who listened to the show and supports, and to the States Vegas Radio subscribers and all that. And as a reminder, next week, if you haven't downloaded and listened to the Unforgotten podcast, Freddie Wilson is going to be our next guest. I just chatted with him again today, and he's looking forward to it. So check that podcast out. And if you got any questions or comments, feel free to shoot them to me on Facebook, Instagram, or you can text me too.
And seriously, listen to that podcast before next week. I'm begging everyone.
I'm
begging everyone.
And send questions, because a lot of people have questions and comments, and so it should be good. But anyway, all right. Thank you to everybody listening. In my takeaways, there's still good people in the world. And by the way, we can do, if you set your mind to it, you can do anything. You can truly accomplish it. And that's cheesy, but I'll be darned, it is true.
It is true.
It is true. So thank you to States Vegas Clothing for providing me with my T-shirts this season. Thank you to States Vegas Radio. Thank you to Black Flag Holster Company, to kasey.tate at Farm Bureau, and thank you to Dustin McCrary at Dustin McCrary Law, and to Hunk and Junk Holland. And thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next week. See ya.